Chair now recognizes the gentleman from New York, Mr. Lawler. You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just note, I think Mr. Spencer.
Mr. Lawler, I thought we
Waved
you in early. Ask unanimous consent that we allow Mr. Lawler to join the dais. Without objection, you're now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just note it looks like Mr. Spencer works for the U.S. Park Police, so I don't know what mayor or city council he should be talking to. I think he should be speaking to Congress. But look, we have a crisis in New York, and it is a crisis of the making of the elected officials in New York City and New York State. Our southern border has been wide open for years. Since Joe Biden took office, nearly 6 million migrants have crossed the border, many illegally. The asylum cases are taking 2 to 3 years to be heard, at minimum. When these cases are finally heard, nearly 2/3 are being rejected. And yet New York City's response is to enact sanctuary city policies, refuse to cooperate with ICE, right to shelter policies, and using taxpayer funds to provide free housing, free healthcare, free education, free food, free clothing, and then be shocked that people would want to come to New York. Now, my family came through Ellis Island over 100 years ago. New York is a beacon. And I believe in immigration. My wife is an immigrant. She came to this country in search of a better life and economic opportunity and education. I'm proud of the fact that she became a United States citizen 2.5 years ago. We have a 17-month-old daughter who will have a better life because her mother chose to come to the United States of America. There is a reason people want to come here, and we accept that. We embrace that. We are a nation of immigrants, but there must be a process. You cannot continue to have tens of thousands of migrants cross the southern border every week and be shocked that municipalities can't handle it. Having sanctuary city policies has been one of the dumbest things I've ever seen for years. And only now are Democrats in New York finally waking up and going, "Ooh, this is a problem." You think? Eric Adams and Kathy Hochul don't have the first clue how to handle this. Because to handle it would be to acknowledge that these policies have failed, would be to acknowledge that these policies don't work. Yes, we need to reform our immigration system. Yes, we need to deal with the, at minimum, 11.5 million who are here undocumented. Yes, we need to have a more merit-based system that deals with our employment shortages, doctors, nurses, engineers, home health aides. We need immigrants in this country. They contribute to our economy. They contribute to our communities. They're good people. But there needs to be a process. And to allow this to continue in perpetuity, as my Democrat colleagues have for years, and immediately, the moment you raise a question, oh, it's racist, it's xenophobic. Total nonsense. Total nonsense. We're not only dealing with a humanitarian crisis at the border, we're dealing with human trafficking, women and children being raped, assaulted, sold, fentanyl pouring into our country, killing 70,000 Americans a year. And Joe Biden has done absolutely nothing. This is totally unsustainable. Eric Adams said that if this continues, it will destroy New York City. They are talking about $12 billion over 3 years, $12 billion in taxpayer money to deal with this crisis. The time for action is now. Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader, Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, both from New York, both from Brooklyn. Silent. Pathetic. Grow a backbone, show some leadership, stand up and say, we're not going to have a system like this anymore. Secure the border. We need more border personnel. We need more court personnel to hear these asylum cases immediately. Remain in Mexico should be the policy of the United States, period. Then deal with the undocumented. Deal with DACA. And fix the legal immigration system so that those people who want to come to the United States to participate in our economy, to have a better life for themselves and their children, can do so, but do so legally. That is all that needs to be done. This is not rocket science. And all of my colleagues in New York City and New York State need to wake up and speak out and speak very clearly. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentlemen.